Hi Aries, welcome to your September 2017 General Tarot Forecast. It's Rena here. Okay. Well, I was just thinking as I was laying out these cards, I never can get away from relationship issues, it seems like, even when I do a general forecast. And this is no exception, although it can relate to your career. I mean, I can make it relate to career because not everybody's going through the same thing, obviously, anyway. So before I get into that, I just wanted to let you know, since I am bringing up relationship issues, that I have posted in the past week a series of videos on Vimeo that are they're tarot and oracle card readings called Ready for Love, and they're specifically for single people, but who knows, maybe some people that are in relationships would appreciate it too. And I will provide a link below for that, as well as my private readings, because remember that these are general readings, and obviously I can't pinpoint everything that's going on in your life. I'm hoping that people suspend disbelief with these and not just get too caught up in it. Some people, it does feel like it's a personal reading, and I've felt that when I have watched other readers. So it does happen, and it's always cool when that happens. Okay, so the overall message here, now this is for September, is Eight of Cups. I want to say something that this could be related to career, actually, because you do have a lot of energy in your 6th house of work. So it could be about leaving a work situation. And this is an emotional decision, though. It's not like if I had gotten another card connected to Pentacles, it would be more of like being pragmatic about a situation. Yeah, I can get more money over here, and so I'm going to go over there. This is about something feeling empty inside, and you want to go towards something more meaningful. And of course, we can always talk about relationships too. The thing about this is that this is a card of spiritual quest. So it's part of a greater awakening. And for Aries, you do have Uranus in your 1st house, in your sign. And so you are changing sometimes, so rapidly, shifting, unpredictably, that some of you may really have gone through a spiritual conversion of sorts. You may feel electric. You may feel like your senses are just totally alive, and even that you have this magnetism that you didn't have before. I don't know if that's true. I'm just assuming, because Uranus is all about electricity, and there can be this attraction, I think, that you give, but it's an unusual attraction. It's not like Venus, that's just like this conventional type of appeal. It's something that kind of catches people by surprise, but they like it, whatever that is. Now, why are you leaving? Well, let's look at the past position. We have the 3 of Pentacles. This is the Architect's card. This is about building something solid and starting right, and doing it the right way. This can point, though, with the number 3 in personal relationships to a third party involved. This can also mean that perhaps either you, and this could be you because you do have the Nine of Cups too, that you might have met somebody at work, and oh yeah, that's right, because we do have Venus going into that 6th house as well. Yeah, so you might have some work stuff going on, like a workplace romance, and maybe you were working with somebody on an assignment and it just became a physical thing. And perhaps you're leaving a marriage because of it, or some other kind of relationship. In business matters, this can be a situation where teamwork did not work out for you, where it felt like very confining. I know I am a Sagittarius, another fire sign. We tend to be very independent minded, and I don't like the idea of being a team player. You know, whenever I'd fill out those applications, I would just want to hurl when they said, "Are you a team player?" Because what they really want is they want somebody who's going to just be down with groupthink. And I'm sure that you are not into that. You have your own ideas and your own way of doing things. And that's what you want to do. And sometimes Aries people come across to others as uncooperative, but really it's the fire signs having their own vision. And when you work as a group, it's because one person's good at organizing, one person's good at being an idea person. And it can be very constrictive. So I totally feel you on that, if that's why you wanted to leave. If you felt like you couldn't do things by yourself. You always had to do it with other people. Whatever was happening, the end result right now is that you are sitting pretty. This is the Nine of Cups. This is the card of wish fulfillment. Something is happening. By going towards what you want, you attract it. And this could be a person it could be a water sign, really could. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. For Aries, I would say Cancer out of all of them, but of course, it might not even be a sun sign that's watery. It might be just overall. Whatever's happening, this is about you having your dreams come true. And you may feel like, that they always talk about gloating with this card. You may feel like, I proved everyone wrong. They said I couldn't do it, and I did it. And one example would be like at work, if you said, I can't take how it is right now, and I'm leaving. You called their bluff, and they said, you won't make it without us, and you have. In whatever way that has happened, you have. The higher message is represented by the Hierophant, and there's, many different possibilities for this. Now, here's the interesting thing. If there was a Taurus person involved, this card connects to Taurus, and I did get, Pentacles for that one. Sometimes it could be that a Taurus person is too stodgy for you, that you need somebody who is more exciting. And no offense to any Taurus people who are listening. I have Taurus rising, and Taurus is a very solid sign. Aries is a sign that is very active and very interested in taking risks and doing things that are very adventurous. And Taurus people tend to be rather mellow. They tend to like to chill. And if they love nature, but they would rather do something a lot less hectic. So it could just be as simple as you didn't have the same types of, outlook on life and even personality types that really enjoy certain things. It's very important. You may have had a very strong physical chemistry, and that might have been that initial attraction, but it didn't sustain itself. The other thing about this card is it relates to marriage and conforming to social tradition. So there can be, and by the way, this is also related to anything with business. I always relate that to corporate environments, the Hierophant. And if you were in that environment, Aries, you may have felt, that might have been what this represents, is that corporate environment where you are a cog in the wheel. And that might have felt a little bit too confining. And with the Hierophant, it's about looking at convention versus doing things your own way. Aries people are like, I'm going to do it my way. And the Hierophant is not like that. The Hierophant is about the tried and true, traditional. Especially now, because you do have Uranus transiting your sign, you're even more unlikely to conform to tradition. So you may have caught, you may have been on a job at the wrong time. And maybe you've been with a certain corporation or a corporate environment for years, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't do this anymore, because that Uranian influence is like, I have to be totally my own person. I need that sense of autonomy, and it's like, it's a very, very strong influence tugging at you. This is also a card regarding marriage, and as a higher message, it may be possibly talking about what is marriage. Is marriage just a conventional construct, a construct of convention, or does it have a value in and of itself? And in this card, the Three of Pentacles is a card of building something from the ground up that is very very solid. And perhaps you did not have that. If you have walked away from a marriage, maybe you did not have a solid foundation. Maybe you were just attracted to something that was more surface. And as the years progressed, or the days, if it was a short-term thing, you came to realize that it was shaky at best. And this is like talking about something that has definition and it stands the test of time. What crosses you is the Four of Wands, which is the card of a happy home. Some of these cards, I really prefer the Rider-Waite version. Let me see if I can find it. I did this for another sign, trying to illustrate how, as much as I love the Morgan Greer deck, okay, here it is. No, that's the Six of, I don't want to take up your time here if I can't find it in 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is the Rider-Waite, the Pamela Coleman illustration. Got to give her props. And you see those people, and they're celebrating, and they have a nice big home behind them. The number 4 relates in astrology to the house of home and family. So it does relate to possibly a new home, possibly a happy family, but something is keeping that from occurring. And what could that be? Take a sip of my kombucha, because something is, and this could be the choice that you're making. You're not looking at the bigger picture. This is the bigger picture. You're not looking at, I think that's kind of going along with this. It's like, what's your end game? If you're looking for a partner, then you have to look at the bigger picture. If, and even like if we look at it from the professional perspective, it depends on if you're looking for, if you were in a certain environment like that, then you have to become a family member. It's like being a family member if you're in a corporate environment. And otherwise, you can't do that. Otherwise, you can't be in that environment, and you can't have it all. Now, some of you probably have left. But in the future, knowing what you're dealing with and accepting the limitations of it is important, as well as expecting more from personal relationships. Not just looking for one aspect of it, because it doesn't sustain itself that way. What is coming in is great, because this is the Wheel of Fortune, alignment, a sense that your life is running smoothly altogether. There may be this great sense of coming into a period of good fortune, of having everything working out your way. This is a card connected to Jupiter. Interestingly, Jupiter goes into Scorpio on October 11th. So that can be a time, it'll be in your 8th house, and that is a house of intimacy. So it explores, for people who are married, who may be, separating or doing something where you're still married but you're taking time out, you may deepen that relationship. But it may require you to really honor the need for that in your relationship. If you can't even acknowledge that it's important to have that intimacy, not just sexual intimacy, but that emotional intimacy, then it won't happen. But if you know that that's what you need to do, then you can deepen an existing relationship during the next 12 months. And the outcome is the Page of Wands. I love this card because it's like good news, new beginnings that really make you happy. This is a card of, being very excited about something. It's the beginning of something. Pages are messages. Mercury goes direct on September 5th and comes out of its shadow around the 19th or so. So in the second half of the month, you should really see things starting to speed up. And Mercury went retrograde in that 6th house of work in Virgo and went back into your 5th house. So you may hear, maybe you were dating somebody and you broke it off, or you lost contact, and you hear from them again during the Mercury retrograde at the beginning of the month. And then at the end, things just start flowing for you. So I think that there are a lot of great things happening here, a lot of changes. That's true for all of us. Coming off of August, eclipse season, that's to be expected, obviously. And then, of course, Mercury retrograding at the same time. A lot is was put on hold, or maybe was kind of grinding to a halt. And now in September, we have that launching again. So that's kind of a green light, the Page of Wands. Okay, Aries, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an awesome, active September. Bye.